Hi, how are you?
I'm good, thank you. Yourself?
Yes, yeah, can't complain. Another beautiful day in Melbourne here today, so onwards and upwards.
Great. Thanks, Gary, so much for joining us and sharing your pickleball story. So, do you want to just quickly tell us a bit about
That's
yourself?
fine. It's my pleasure. I'm a retired builder. I retired just before COVID. After spending 50 odd years on the tools, I was still on the tools at 67. Um,
Wow.
Good timing, I suppose, or bad timing in some respects. We bought a caravan and started travelling around Australia during COVID. So we missed the worst of it in Melbourne anyway. I travelled a lot of inland New South Wales and Queensland. So escaped the worst of the lockdowns. But yeah, enjoyed that for a few years. But the caravanning life's not conducive to losing weight or keeping fit. It's got quite a sociable aspect to it. So the pounds did start to creep on, and the body got a bit lazy. So yeah, we thought it was time that we started exploring some sort of sport, and we discovered pickleball. Mm.
That's interesting. So, how long were you caravanning for? Just briefly, is it about a year during that COVID years, or
Oh,
um,
since COVID started, we've generally tried to get away for around March, April for about 8 weeks, then come
nice?
home, catch up with family, and then disappear from Melbourne's winter. So we'd leave June-ish
Yep.
and get back mid-December in time to get all the Christmas presents back. So
That just sounds
we've been
amazing
doing,
to me.
yeah, it's been great. We really enjoyed it. We've seen a lot more of Australia than what we've seen. We sort of had the attitude that we're stopping all the little towns that we flew through at a million miles an hour to get where we're going
Yep.
previously. So it's been really enjoyable. Yeah, it's been good. We've loved
Yeah.
it.
So, what
Yeah,
got you started with
but
pickleball? Did you see an ad, or someone mentioned it, or um? Yeah, I'm just always
um,
curious about
we
what
actually,
piqued people's interest.
well, what started us off on the journey with pickleball was we were looking at some over 55 retirement, or not retirement villages, but lifestyle villages. I got to use that word because I'm
Yes.
not old enough for a retirement village. And they all had pickleball courts in them up in Queensland, and it's very big up there. Um,
Yeah.
Virtually all the lifestyle villages have the pickleball courts, and we had a bit of a look at it up there, and it piqued our interest, I suppose.
Yeah.
And then when we came back home, I was supposed to have a total knee replacement on the left leg, but
Yeah.
I didn't quite pass the medical, so that's been postponed for 3 or 4 months. So I started looking at the pickleball down here, and I had a couple of social games first at Maroondah Nets, which was very welcoming and friendly, and yeah, loved it. I love the. We're sort of looking at, I suppose, when we come back from the caravan, something physical to do to get a bit fitter, and at the same
Yeah.
time being a bit more mentally challenging. We realised that we needed to exercise the brain a bit more than what I was doing.
Yeah.
And pickleball, being a new sport that I haven't played before, and a sport that you have to have is better to play to the quick your reaction time was something that
Yeah.
fitted the categories of
And you
what I
also
was looking for, really. Yeah.
needs a bit of strategy to outdo your opponent, right? Where you hit the shots on the court. It's a bit of mental
Yeah,
work there.
it's to me, I see it as a cross between probably badminton, tennis, and chess,
Yeah.
where a lot of similar shots to tennis, not all of it. A lot of
Yeah.
it's similar shots to badminton, not all of it. But there's a lot more strategy involved than
Yeah.
what you really think when you first start playing. When you
So were you always
that,
did
but
you
as
have
you
to
get into it,
get fitter before you started it? Like do a bit of stretching? I don't know. I'm just curious. Or you could go in and just pick up the game like your
well,
first time if you think about your
most of them
first.
have they call them come.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think most of the places have what they call a come and try days, where the courts are open for people to just come and have a look if you like them. And most of the clubs supply the bat and balls and paddles and nets and everything. So you can just go down and have a lesson, if you like, where they explain the basic rules to you,
Yeah.
basic strategies, and then they let you have a game under their supervision, and they point out things that you're doing right or could be doing better as you learn it. But if you play tennis or badminton or table tennis, anything like that, it's a very easy sport to pick up. But it is a little bit more challenging than mine. The scoring's a little bit different. Uh,
Okay. Yep.
and that's yeah,
So that's
we're
great.
really enjoying. I'm playing 3 2-hour sessions a week. Sorry.
Yeah. Wow. That would really get your fitness level up now. Do you feel the difference?
Oh yeah, certainly the fitness level gets up, but also I feel like I'm more mentally alert than what I was before I started playing,
Yep.
which is something that I really wanted to try and work on. And as I say, as you get older, it's great to learn a new skill or a new language or a new instrument or something, just to
Yes.
do something new to stimulate the brain. So I've enjoyed that side of it too, and the social aspect too. You're meeting new people all the time, so
Yep.
there's, depending on where you play, I suppose there's a group of 20 or 30 people, and you just
All
mix
right.
around the court. You don't necessarily play with the one group or the one
Yep.
person for the whole day. It's you play a game and then you sit back and get invited to other games. So you're meeting and mixing. So the social aspect of it's really good too.
Yep.
Really good.
And are you
And then
going both of you together, or is it just yourself that's joined up the pickleball?
we did we,
Is it like a
we did
date
start
night
together. It
or?
was something that we wanted. Yeah, no, not quite a date night. We did start playing together, but unfortunately, my partners got a bit of a hammy twinge after the second game.
Uh,
So we learned from that we do need to start stretching a little bit before the game, which we were
yep.
doing. But so she's out, unfortunately, for 6 or 8 weeks with the hammy strain. So,
Yeah. Now
but
that's a good tip, I think,
yeah,
for
she's looking forward to getting back into it. But yeah,
yeah.
something we very much wanted to get. Yeah, because while you go down there to play together, you don't necessarily play together. You might have the first game, but then you mix up with other couples
Yep.
and that, and you end up catching up with each other after it. So again, socially, it's good for both of us to mix and match with other people. Yeah,
Yep.
yeah. So it's
Now,
been
thank
good.
you.
We're really enjoying it.
Yeah. And before that, have you, I think you mentioned you had played tennis and badminton. Is that right? Before, like earlier on?
I played tennis
Is
many,
that?
many, many years ago. We hadn't done anything much in the way of sport for probably 10 years, apart from a little bit of
Yep.
running and that early on. But hadn't
Yeah.
played tennis probably 25 years
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
something like that, I suppose. So,
And
but
it's
we've done
much,
other sport. We got into wake surfing and that sort of thing.
yeah. So I always get asked, especially with the over 55s or even over 65s, like I'm nervous about trying like a sport. What advice or what would you what did you say to someone who's just feeling a bit nervous because they haven't played something for such a long time and are feeling a bit
Look,
anxious?
it's fun. There's all levels there. Pickleball is a self-rated game where you just rate yourself
Okay.
as to what level you are, so that you can, if other people ask, you can play against somebody that's on the same level as you. Most people are happy to play with a novice that doesn't know much at all, because they were there once themselves not that all long ago.
Yep.
So I'd say if you're thinking of doing, go down to one of the social sessions, try it out. I'm sure you get addicted to the friendliness of the game, and it's a new challenge to take up and get you going. Because as we know at our age, if you don't move it, you lose it. So it's important to get it moving, and that's both physically and mentally, of course. So
Yep.
it's definitely give it a go. It's a fun sport. It's not too taxing on the body. Um, you chase down what balls you can, what you can't, you let go. It's not like you're 21 anymore, so we're not playing for sheep stations. So yeah, no, definitely, if you're thinking of it, give it a go. It's a great sport, friendly, and it re-energizes you. It certainly does. Mm.
Thank you, Gary. That's some great tips there for someone thinking about it. What's next for you in the pickleball field? Are you looking at joining any competitions with at your level, or just curious? Are
Yeah,
you happy?
pickleball. Yeah, well, pickleball in Victoria is just starting up to get organised, and they've just they've got their touring championships on at the moment. So yeah, the clubs are starting to have inter-club competitions. I don't know how long it's been played in Victoria, but I get the impression that it's only been played seriously for probably a couple of years. So they're
Yeah.
still getting the whole club competition thing up and running, and that they're more social competitions. Wangarata's just had a massive competition down there, which apparently went extremely well.
Okay.
Bayside Club's organised another one for later in the year. So it's just starting to come together with the competitions and that. But again, it's a self-graded thing. So you're not going to go in there and play against an Australian championship. You enter a competition in your level of play. So
Yeah.
you're not going to be embarrassed if you have a go. But we're seriously looking forward to doing that a little bit more, if you like, a little bit more competitive.
Yeah.
And excuse me, when we can, as time permits.
Yeah. Now, thank you, Gary. Look, yeah, thank you so much for sharing your story. I really appreciate it. And there's some great tips there for other people to consider about joining, who may be in the similar lifestyle stage as you are. And yeah, look forward to hearing more about you maybe in a year's time, or if you feel like giving us an update. So thank you so much.
All right, it's been my pleasure, Cheryl. Lovely to talk to you.